Well, guys, good luck. I'm replying to more comments today. Mostly Bokkelul. So, Bokkelul says, bowels or bowels? Question mark, semicolon, close parentheses. Haha, all the unnecessary sneaking. You're allowed to be there. Paid the gold. Nope, can't do that. You stealing from the servants' quarters is a little awkward. They have so little for themselves and you're stealing their kwama eggs and roots. So, first of all, yeah, I'll say that it was bowels. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was bowels. Not bowels, bowels. That's the one. And, well, you say I was allowed in there. I don't think it really matters if I'm allowed into areas or not. It's nice to have a good sneak around, because then you don't have to find a good location where you can hide when you want to steal something or similar. Like later on, I'm in this room. And it has platforms. Platforms? Do you even call those No, those aren't platforms. No, they're not. those walls, kind of the movable walls, whatever they're called. And yeah, I can hide behind those. But a lot of rooms don't have that in this game, and a lot of rooms have like a few NPCs in there. So if you sneak in the room, you usually have a good chance to be like sneaking right off the bat. But I guess I've noticed that in some way or another my sneaking skill has just gotten better somehow, and I can disappear even better than before in front of people, even though that makes no sense because my sneaking has been 100 since the day I became a ninja. So I don't even know. Game mechanics, how do they work? Maybe it's some stat that I just increased through leveling and now it's like amazing or something. Yeah, I kind of remember that being the case in all the games. That if you pay the gold, they take away all your stolen items. I just noticed that in a lot of other parts of the game, the items aren't actually treated as stolen. Like in Oblivion or Skyrim, I think if you stole something, you had to bring it to whatever those tea vendors were called, I don't remember exactly. Basically, no one will buy any stolen item whatsoever. In Morrowind, that's not the case. As long as you don't try to sell the stolen item to the owner, you'll be fine, from what I've seen. Don't try to sell stolen item to your owner, it doesn't work. But everything else definitely works, and that's why I thought, well, maybe if I paid the gold, they'll let me keep the items that I didn't steal from this house. And I only had stolen like, what, 5 gold when I was caught, so I thought, okay, they'll take 10 or 5 gold from me, woohoo. But obviously it doesn't work like that, so more sneaking then, I guess. And I wasn't stealing from the servants' quarters. I was just cleaning them, yes. There was a lot of dirty roots from something out there, and I took them all. And I took a little bit of compensation in money. Very little, like a coin or two. It's more of a formality than anything else. I definitely didn't take any of their kwama eggs. Why would I do that? They're heavy and I don't need them, or didn't need them at least at that time, so I don't know what you're accusing me of. It's very strange. Then TheBokkelul says, soul trapping is completely the same in Morrowind as in Skyrim or Oblivion. And yes, you can get Azura star in Morrowind as well. Intermission 2. WTF lol. I forgot to mention that after 2 there's 2/3 of ellipses. So that's nice. I guess I'm gonna go look for it then. It would be really nice if someone could, I don't know, like give me ideas of where to go. I mean, I'm not saying that you should tell me where Azura Star is. I'm just saying that you could give me like an idea to go into some random direction somewhere, and you know, that direction could be somehow related to Azura Star, but it may not necessarily be, of course, right? I'm just saying. And yes, the intermission too. I was chatting up a lady. What else? What else would a man say to a lady if for not those things? Right? I don't know why you're so estranged by this. Right? I don't know. That sounded like normal man-to-woman conversation to me. He then goes to say, "Aha! Yeah, the UI isn't always very clear. It takes some trial and error, and just doing random things to find out how everything works. Like knowing that you use only one potion per time, or that you can press a button to always show your map on screen. I guess it might actually be written down in the game manual, but most people just result into figuring out by accident, semicolon close parentheses." I do agree. It's just that it's very difficult to actually figure out some of these things, because you don't have any reference. Like suppose I use 2 potions instead of 1 at once. Am I really gonna see that much of a difference if those potions suck like the ones I used to have? I don't think so. It also uses like really strange buttons that I'm not particularly used to. I know I could probably remap them, but I try to at least keep most of the buttons in most games as their natural set. I don't know, I like to find out what's so good about it. I mean, in this case, right mouse click opening up the pause screen inventory. I mean, it kind of works, actually. I don't know if it's the best thing, but it kind of works. I can see why they moved away from it in other games, because you needed a button to block, and it definitely makes more sense to block with the mouse than like some other button, but still, it's a strange little game, is what I'm saying. And I have definitely not read the manual. Never read manuals. What's the point to read the manual and spoil yourself everything? At the very least, I want to first get pissed off at how horrible things are when you don't know what you're doing. Then I can start reading the manual. Anyway, TheBokkelul says, dumb quotation mark, useful things but not what I need, dumb quotation mark. But a ninja surely could have use of a ring of chameleon. Dot. I agree that the ring of chameleon is somewhat useful, but it only really gives 10%. Since everything in this game is chance-based, I assume that 10% still counts for what little it can do. But as you can see, in general, my sneaking ability is good enough that I only need extra bit of sneaking in already dire situations, such as the one where I escaped 2 assassins and the demon at once. That was pretty cool. I like that, but I don't think like the ring of chameleon in that situation would have made any difference. I needed something really potent. At like 30-40%, maybe then I would understand. Especially because I think it's like a temporary effect and not constant. You have to cast it and then you're slightly less visible for a certain amount of time. It's just not good enough. That's the reason why I said it's not exactly what I need. Because it's useful to a certain extent, but in most situations I'm gonna try to find some other way to get out of them. He also says, actually, Icecap can be really good. A constant enchantment of 30% frost resistance is pretty nice. I don't know if there's like freezing effects in the game or anything, but if it's just reducing the damage, I mean, it could be nice, but when the hell am I gonna, in the middle of a fight, just switch out my mask, the ninja mask, to this Icecap. I think it's better to have a good physical defense than anything else. Most spells seem to be somewhat sidesteppable in this game. I don't know if it's just me or if it actually works. I haven't found any situation where I could think, oh yeah, frost resistance, that definitely would have saved my ass. And while 30% does sound pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie, so I didn't sell it or anything. I put it in my box of goodies, I believe. I don't know if I'll find a situation where I could just say, yeah, time to get my Icecap on. Doesn't seem realistic at the moment, but of course I haven't explored the entire game yet, so I could be very much wrong. I'm gonna skip the all about the galaxy beam comment because I talked to him personally, basically asking why did I remove my message button. I didn't remove my message button. Google removed my message button by removing the inbox, which was what the message button would take you to. Now, since I don't have Google+, there is no button. You can't even click message me. Well, in some ways, it's nice to not have random people telling me to join their random networks or whatnot. On another hand, yeah, it's annoying because I can't contact people. Thankfully, about the Galaxy Beam actually has Facebook and Twitter, so I was able to contact them that way and sort things out. Next comment by TheBokkelul. Actually, since you've now completed the quest, I can tell you. Remember that oath the Zenithar you've made to deliver those shirts, semicolon? Until you've delivered them, no one will do business with you. Literally no one? Or with some exceptions. That's an interesting curse and a very compelling reason to go back and get the quest done. Well, whatever. I am not the kind of person who would sell the shirts or whatever. If I got a quest to do some stuff, I'll do it. Pretty strange though. Do I not even get a time limit within which I can still interact with the shopkeepers, but after the time limit you no longer can do it until you complete the oath? I don't know. But I ended up completing it because it was the right thing to do. Haha! I suppose then that you don't actually encounter this oath to Zenithar very often, since you told me this. But yeah, I'll keep it in mind. I'm sure I won't forget this at any future moment. Next comment, around 10, and he quotes, "Where the hell could that bastard have gone?" Well, if you must know, and I have no idea how you haven't found him yet, 2/3 of Ellipses, he's indeed pretty much right over the hill from where she is. Correction, TheBokkelul, correction. 2 hills. I'm fairly certain, and there might have been half of a hill beyond the second hill too. I have no idea how I haven't found him either, but I think the reason I didn't is because I actually followed directions for once. This is what I was talking about, you give me directions and they're not even real directions. Go west. Oh, wait, I don't know. Maybe it's some other direction, because I could have been upside down or trying to float and spin in circles while I was being attacked by Nyx's hounds. What the fuck? How does that make any sense? How the hell would you not look closely where your friggin' husband runs off to while in this situation? I mean, hell, I haven't been ever attacked by Nyx's hounds in real life, so I don't know what I would do. But seriously, I mean, it's a silly notion anyway. Even if he ran west, he could have just as easily turned in any direction after the first hill, and she wouldn't know anything. So what's the point of even giving me the directions? It would be much better to have than let me figure out by myself where he ran. and like look for like some sort of tracks or something like that. No, just walk around randomly. There's nothing there at all. I'm just saying that it's just a little bit And another comment by TheBokkelul: you might want to do something about them assassins. :P. Yeah, I agree. I didn't think they would escalate this much. I mean, with every assassin they kind of send stronger ones, like the weapons keep getting better, like the Daedric friggin' Wakizashi that I got of the last one I killed. Fighting 2 at once is a little bit of much more pain in the ass, simply because you can't get 2 of them stuck as easily. But yeah, that's the main reason why I've decided to go look for this Ebonheart, and I'm find it. Yeah. giggione71. It's not TheBokkelul, oh my god, guys. Says, if you want best graphics, install the patch, and I quote, Morrowind Overhaul 3.0. It's amazing, double exclamation point. And I don't mean just amazing. Amazing with a big A. First of all, I sincerely doubt that it's amazing. I mean, maybe relatively speaking, it would be amazing. But like I said, I already, every time I look at Morrowind's graphics, I'm like, because I expect them to be so much worse. I don't really need to install actual better graphics. I just don't. And I don't mind them being like what it is. It's not like a turn off or anything. It's definitely not a level where I would be turned off by playing this game. To me, like, it's kind of in that gray area where it's close to being a turn off, but not quite there yet. It really helps that I think that the graphics are worse than they actually are. So, you know, it really bumps it up in that gray area. Now, anything above that gray area, I just don't care how it looks. Like, you could give me Crysis 3, or you could give me, say, Oblivion, which is above the gray area. They clearly have absurdly different level of visual fidelity, but I literally give 0 fucks. It literally doesn't matter to me. And Oblivion is close to the gray area, but it's definitely above it. So if you were to say, like, you should play Crysis 3 instead of Oblivion because Oblivion graphics sucks, or to use a game that actually makes sense, you should play Skyrim over Oblivion because graphics of Oblivion, like, I don't give a shit. Like, to me, Oblivion is good enough. Anything higher than that is pretty much pointless as far as my satisfaction is considered with the graphics. Like, if Skyrim looked exactly like Oblivion graphics-wise, like fidelity-wise, that is, of course, because it wouldn't make sense to look exactly like Oblivion because it's in a completely different part of the continent. But yeah, I wouldn't really care. Like, I would not have lost a single bit of enjoyment whatsoever from the game. And while yes, Morrowind isn't the gray area is still fine for reasons that I've explained, with the whole thinking that the graphics are worse than they are thing. I don't know why it works or how, but it does, and I don't need any better graphics. Alright, back to TheBokkelul. And he quotes, "Why are you hiding like that?" End quote. Well, cause like Nick's hounds, ? P. You see, once again, I find it really weird that he would hide like there. Like that. Sure, for one, he ran up a hill. I assume that somehow makes him less likely to be followed by Nick's hounds. By an extremely low probability, but, you know, it adds up. But honestly, I would have assumed that he, like, climbed something. Would you not? If you're running away from like dogs, would you not do something like climb a tree? Sure, there weren't many trees in the wasteland, but there were rocks right next to him too. He could have like gotten at least halfway through the rock. Nah, he's just sitting there on the hill, you know, between rocks, with no way to escape if any next hounds actually find him. Well, it's the perfect hiding location. Sure. Sure. Yeah, I think the confusion here was that I wasn't surprised that he was hiding, but that he was just hiding there in that particular place. I wouldn't think that's very effective. That is all. Next comment. Yay! First trap disarmed, and what was in the box? Nothing! Lol. Well, you know, I noticed that certain locks and whatnot require actually certain level of picks. I assume the same thing applies to traps. Like you need a master probe or something. Oh my god. Master probe. What the hell? And unless you have that, you probably can only pick, or in this case, disarm traps up to something like 50 or 60 or 70. But sure, that's nice and all, but I don't think there's gonna be anything useful behind those kind of locks. So I'm not really surprised that the first thing I disarmed had nothing in it. I'm sure there will be lots of treasure to find in the future. And TheBokkelul says, actually, I don't think there are any road signs to Ebonheart. You can take a boat there via Vivec, or just use a scroll of divine intervention near Vivec. Open parentheses. Ebonheart isn't a big city, though, (B 2/3 of ellipses). By the way, it might be that guards tell you where Ebonheart is when you ask about the assassins, close parentheses. Actually, after the recording, I decided that, what the hell, I'll look up the location of Ebonheart. And it was specifically because of the reasons you mentioned here. There's no road signs, nobody wants to talk about the damn thing except maybe the guards. I don't know. But, you know, I haven't had any luck finding it, so I decided to look where it is. I just know the general area. I know it's really close to Vivec now, and I'm gonna go there. In general, I won't be looking up things like that, as I'm sure I mentioned before, but if the game is going to be completely obscure for just purposes of obscurity, and there's a rare area I really need to go to, and I cannot find it unless I comb the entire map, you know, that's the point where I will go ahead and look it up. But since you mentioned these interesting ways to find the area, I guess I might as well try it out. So I should go to Vivec and use a scroll of divine intervention. Alright, I guess I'll find out how to use scrolls too. Lol. And his final comment says, haha, you must have stumbled upon a cliff racer nest or something. Lol. I don't know, man. It feels like the entire Morrowind is the cliff racer nest. Like, they're everywhere. They even swim in the fucking ocean. There's no cliffs in the ocean. Why would you even be there, cliff racer? Why? What is wrong with you? I mean, they're sort of cliffs, if for very broad definition of cliffs, but I don't know. There should be fewer of them. Definitely. There's too many cliff racers. There's too many goddamn cliff racers. Right. Alright, that's it for the comments today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.
to Northrend!
I got the best deals anywhere.